Good evening. Hello. Welcome to a Monday night in the sewing room. It's dark outside and I have super fluffy hair. Sorry. Yeah, I tried to experiment with some of the kind of like curl enhancing methods that I've seen. So putting my product into my hair sopping wet, putting it in a t-shirt and diffusing it. And I do, I had my email so I've gone live. I do have wavy hair. I have wavy frizzy hair. But it did not look good styled like that. So I immediately brushed it all through. And now it's just floofy. So I've got very fluffy hair today, which is why it's all kind of like hidden back here. So Nimue is here and the curly sewista is here. Hello, both of you. Nimue knows the other night I was making scrunchies when we were hanging out on the Patreon Zoom calls, and I pinned together the little tie bits that go with the scrunchies, and I have still not sewn them together. So I was thinking I could do that. I've just wound a bobbin. I've got red thread on my machine. So probably should try and get that done today. What's the betting that I will get any sewing done? Minimal. Very minimal. Lala Palooza says hello. Nessie says hi. Elena says good evening, lovely Shannon Peeps. Good evening. Beth says, yay, I never make the Hangouts live. Hi, Beth. Rotten Ralph says, I'm not sure if I can type anything, but good day to the peeps. Hello. Elena says, are you okay? I'm okay. MN Custom Made says, Barb says, good afternoon from North Central Minnesota. Good afternoon. And Debbie says, good evening. Hello. So yeah, I didn't do the regular scheduled Sunday morning hangout yesterday because I was not feeling very good. And I have spent all of today asleep. But now I am bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I have taken drugs. So they are helping. But yeah. Yeah, thank you for joining me this evening rather than yesterday morning, and much appreciated. Mim says, hello, lovely. How are you? Very well, thank you. How are you? Caroline says, hiya on a chilly evening. It is, isn't it? I'm looking very glamorous. I have on the t-shirt that Candy sent me. It did have like a Rosie the Riveter character on it, and all you can see is a teeny tiny little bit left of her headband. I might try and peel the rest of that off because it's actually a really nice t-shirt. The red kind of shrug cardigan that Mum made me, and my peacock dragon PJs. I'm looking so good. It is separates. Just saying, it is separates. I haven't given up on that. Karen So Fab says hello. Rotten Rouse says drugs are helpful. Yes, they are. Nessie says, sometimes sleep is the best thing. Okay, all the time. Yes. Elena says to Rotten Ralph, hello, my friend. Hope you're well, not totally suffering. So, yeah, I've also kind of in the interim of consciousness today been doing, well, sort of like having a look at my Pinterest boards, because I think I mentioned this to you guys a while ago. I did the curated closet workbook probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and I've still got all the stuff up there, and I got as far as the kind of gathering inspiration, and I went a little overboard with it because there were so many things that I liked. So I had like nearly 2,000 pins on my curated closet board, and I really like that board, but I was like, realistically, I'm pinning everything that's even remotely catching my eye. So I went through it today and I narrowed it down, and I was really strict. Whereas I could only pin something if it was the right shape, the right color, the right length, those kind of things. And I've gotten the board down to around about 110 pins. And it's really interesting because it is majority primary colors. Like there's a lot of bright red, a lot of bright blue, bright yellow, bright emerald green. I've put a little bit of coral in there. There's a little bit of kind of like the neutrals. There's a little bit of navy. But it was really interesting because going through that 2,000 pin board, it was like, I love everything. And then it was like, I love this. And it was like, oh, hang on a minute. You love that little bit about this. You don't love all of it. So I was being really strict with it. And it was quite an interesting experience. And the lovely Jojo's just turned up. Jojo's coming down for a week in about 9 days, I think. You're arriving a week on Wednesday, aren't you? Which I'm very excited about. And Jojo's very kindly offered to help me, well, not even help me, but just sort of sit and keep me company while I do my dress clear out videos, because I have a lot of dresses to do. And I've decided with those ones, I'm going to be super, super, super strict with myself, because I have got some silhouettes in there that are not 100% me. I've got colours in there that are not 100% me. And that is obviously the part of my wardrobe that is the one that's ever growing, because I love wearing dresses. So I think I need to be super, super strict with that section, for as no matter, because I always love what I make. Well, not always, but I majority of the time love what I make and love the combinations of things that I'm making, but I don't always love them on me. So I think it's one of those things where I'm just going to be like, we need to be really, really strict. And I'm actually thinking about doing the same with my fabric stash, because there's stuff back here that I love. And like, for example, the sort of darker viscoses down there, I got those out the other day to look through them and just be like, ooh, could do this, this, and this with this one. But then it's like, are you ever going to wear that? Yeah, I don't know. Think I need to be strict with myself. So yes. Let's see. Lil J Mass says, oh my gosh, hello, I'm Southern California, I never caught you live. Hello, good evening. Well, good morning for you, I think, but good evening. Nessie says, I'm also California, so glad it's not 3 a.m. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind doing one of these every now and again if you guys are up for it. I was a bit worried that nobody would turn up. There's already 60 of you here. 10 likes if you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up. But yeah, it just worked out better for me this week, and it could be something that I do in the future, like alternate maybe, so that, because I know there's a lot of the American Canadian peeps that don't get to see the Sunday hangouts because they're just so early. I'm not saying I'm not going to do the Sunday hangouts as well, because I really enjoy those, but I'm happy to do like a Monday evening one if I'm not doing anything else, because I like being down here and I like chatting with you lot. Although it's not usually the most productive of evenings, because I end up chatting with you lot rather than actually doing any of the things that I say I'm going to do, don't I? But there we go. Christine says, hi everyone from Lancashire Coast, hope you're all okay. Very well, thank you. Fox says, hello everyone. I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch your resin button making video, because those turquoise ones look beautiful that you put in the thumbnail. I need to have a look at that. Although maybe I don't, because I really don't need another craft. I wouldn't have anywhere to store all the stuff. I wonder if I could talk my dad into getting into resin button making. Nia's here. She says, oi, Sabalois. Hello. Lil JMS says, Nessie, right? And technically, I am at work. Ooh, nice. Nero says, well, so much for sewing on this end. Wanted to hand quilt a small panel for the project badge, but my batting is pulling through like mad. Machine quilting it is, but not tonight. Jojo says, yes, Wednesday 27th, my lovely. Exciting. Lizzie says, yes, backup support is so helpful. Yeah. Carmen says, hi, Sean Peeps, how's everyone doing? Hello, Carmen, very well, thank you. How are you? Debbie says, hi to Nia. Nessie says, whatever works for your schedule, Sean, thank you. Nimoy says, Jojo's commentary on the clean out promises to be highly entertaining, hopefully not a threat to monetization. I can always bleep her. Mia says hi to Debbie. Catrice says, hello everyone. Hello. Ruff says, hi Lena, just feeling weak and complaining, but now that Jane, the hero of Cat Town, has settled, I am all right in my bondage under him. Nice. Have you knitted him a hat? Has he got a Jane hat? Would he tolerate a Jane hat? Nessie says, ooh, I do like some of your off-screen sassy commentary. Oh, Jojo, this could be turning into a bit of a thing. Yeah, I have been, like I say, taking it easy today in my PJs, in my very, very sexy PJs. and sort of playing around with this because Jojo's getting her colours done by Nicola when she comes down. And yeah, I've been sort of like having a look through my colours that suit me and trying to work out like what I want to be keeping in my wardrobe, what really does get reached for. It's quite interesting actually. I did that short the other day of the 3 different outfits that I'd worn with that denim skirt, or the 3 different top combinations that I'd worn with that denim skirt, and the red one with this cardigan. When I clicked into that, it really was quite impactful, and it was my favorite out of all of them. It's actually surprising how little red I had in my wardrobe and in my stash. I mean, she says having quite a lot of red, but like everyday red, this is a lot of silk and velvet in here. So yeah, I also made the Lucille trousers, and I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I made the Vogue. It's right behind you. 19782. What was it? What number are you? Oh, let's come here. 9182. Made that one up. I actually really like that one. How it came out on the bodice. I am getting a little bit of gaping, and I mean like a minuscule amount at the kind of like this sort of angle at the front and at the back. And what I'm going to do is mark on the seam allowance around the neckline and also around the armholes and cut that off and have a look and see what the finished neckline and arms straps are going to be like on me. The raised up back neckline has worked perfectly. I love how that's turned out. But yeah, I'm a because I talk about all this in the Patreon exclusive waffle that I did edit, but it hasn't gone up yet because I spent all day Friday kind of trying to panic edit the red dress because I don't know what happened with my camera. I just didn't press record for like the most important part of the sew along, and then put it on the table and pressed record and had 24 minutes of the top of the table. And it's like it's not something that you can just go back and re-record the sewing of a sleeve. Like, I mean, for as much as I keep saying to people, it's like I'm not going to put in straight line sewing. That was a bit of sewing that I wanted to include in the video, and yeah, I just completely messed up on that one, and I'm annoyed at myself. So kind of like tried to rescue it with the explanation of looking at the illustration and showing how I would, you know, explaining what I was doing. One person has asked me to do it again, and I love the dress, so I'm not unwilling to make another one of the dresses because I think it's a gorgeous dress, and I'm very much looking forward to wearing that red one. And I am going to be doing another one, but I'm doing a different sleeve hack for that one. But yeah, so I was editing the nearly half an hour long Patreon waffle where I'd made these 2 muslins, and I don't know if I want to put it out or not. I might do. I think I was having a bit of a bad day and everything was going wrong. But those Lucille trousers, I really don't like them, to the point where I don't want to make them up in, even though this purple crepe is wearable muslin fodder, I don't want to make them up in the purple crepe. I think the purple crepe would get worn more as a skirt and a waistcoat rather than, I mean, I just know I wouldn't wear those trousers. I know I wouldn't. So Mum and I've got my last acupuncture appointment tomorrow, so I can't be too late tonight. But yeah, I've got my last acupuncture appointment tomorrow, and then we're going to go into town and we're going to go to Marks and Spencer's, and I'm going to try on every single style of trouser that they have available, because Marks and Spencer's and Next are our biggest stores that we have available on the island. We don't have like a big department store that shut down. New Look shut down. Maybe TK Maxx might be a good one to try, but they obviously have a selection of what they have, and it might not have the range of styles that I want to try. So yeah, I just want to go into Marks and Spencer's and try on a bunch of stuff, because I actually think it'll be interesting to see what Nicola says as well when she's here, if she doesn't mind like sort of talking to me about trouser styles. And I have been trying to research it, and I do think I'm a bottom heavy hourglass, because whilst there is a difference between my hips and my bust, like if I measure around my shoulders, I don't have slight shoulders. So I don't think, I'm not trying, there's nothing wrong with being a pear shape, but I don't think I'm a traditional pear shape. Yeah, see, like around my hip, my shoulders, like there, that's exactly the same size as my hips. And then I do have a small waist. So I might be a bottom heavy hourglass, but I do think I am an hourglass shape. And the styling for advice for that is not overly great, because it's all like, oh, you can wear whatever you want because you're so well proportioned. And it's like, okay. So I think it might just come down to preference for me. So I thought I really liked big wide leg trousers, and I'm thinking maybe actually I don't. Maybe it's the kind of pegged trousers, because I did, even with these Lucille trousers, like I pulled all the fabric back, pinned it, and so it kind of, I mean, it looked very extreme because it's obviously calico as well, but like having them kind of peg in at the bottom, I think is actually a style that I prefer on me, and maybe even having them slightly cropped. So yeah, Mum and I tomorrow are going into town, as I say, for my last acupuncture appointment. Mum's coming with me because he's going to show her the acupuncture points to use with the pens machine that I won't be able to do by myself on my back. So I need to remember to get dressed for that in the morning. And then we're going to go and try on all the trousers tomorrow. But yeah, I don't want to make this into something that I just know I don't want to wear. And the same with this suiting. Like, I would love a pair of red trousers. I think that would be really cool, but I don't want to make stuff that's just beautifully, if I say so myself, made for the sake of making the thing. There's something that I would then never wear. So I don't know. Julian said, hey, just stopping in. Hi, nice to see you. Let's go back to the chat because I'm very behind. I have been waffling a lot. Teresa says, so glad to be able to join everyone as I have the day off from work. Hello to all the peeps. Hi, Teresa. Fox says, yes, your dad making buttons. I only made black and white ones in the video, but making buttons is a fun, creative process, mostly if you mix colours. What did you make the turquoise ones as well that were on the thumbnail? Because I saw the thing of blue and I was just like, but you made them to go with your kind of black and white dress, didn't you? What Ralph says, we have many Jane hats. He isn't likely to allow it, but it's fine. Jojo says, lol, no, I don't know what you mean, I'm sure. Lollapalooza says, if you take all your hangers and turn them the opposite way on a rod, then when you pull stuff out to wear, put them back in the regular way, you will see what you never reached for. Done that, didn't work for me. Did that a couple of years ago. It didn't really work for me because there were great swaths of things that I didn't reach for. It was all dresses. So yeah, like I've kind of already got to the point where I know what I'm going to get rid of from the dress stash or dress wardrobe. There will be ones that I'm probably going to need a little bit more poking to get rid of because I love them, but they don't work quite so well for me. But there are ones I already know. But yeah, no, I did try that method, and I get so attached to my clothes that I was just like, I don't want to get rid of anything. So I did try it. It didn't work for me that way. I think I just need some help. Nicola, who is all about the outfit, does do a wardrobe edit, and I might talk to her about that on the when are you having your colours done, Jojo? I can't remember. I know you're having it done while she's here. I might talk because we've been talking quite a lot. We'd arranged a couple of days for her to come over and do some outfit styling, and either one or the other of us ended up having to reschedule, and we've rescheduled and rescheduled. But yeah, I think it might be quite interesting to see how much she would charge for a wardrobe edit, because there's a certain amount of time that she allows for it, and the size of mine is huge. So yeah, but I mean, I'm holding on to stuff that I love, but I'm holding on to it because I love it, not that I wear it. So yeah. Hayley says, nice to be surprised to be able to join you live. I'm currently stitching the zip into my dressmaker's bodice. Oh, exciting. That's on Saturday, isn't it? Oh, I can't wait to see what everyone wears. I'm so gutted I'm not going this year, but it was the right thing to do. It was. I know it was. And I will be going next year. Rotten Ralph says to Lollapalooza. I was thinking about that. I watched the video. It was an interesting detour. Lollapalooza says, totally understand how you explain the process. Don't sweat it. Oh, good, thank you. Nessie says, I think your workaround worked fine. I'd love to see another video of the dress as well, as you can, so you can include it in the next one. I mean, it was really funny in the hangout. I got that fabric out on the top there, and I was like, oh, I can make it out of that. And then it was just like, no, I've only got 3 meters of that, and I think I needed 3.5 meters. I don't know that I've got enough. And then I was like, it was just really funny. I was like, oh, I'll do this. I'll do a dress in a day. And then you can see me presenting to camera, being like, I'm going to do a dress in a day, blah, 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 for this one. And then going, oh, no, it's supposed to be a sew along. That's not going to work. Like, desperately trying to get a video ready for Friday. And it was like, just make the one that you've done work. There's got to be a way that you can make it work. It's like you've missed out the most important piece of footage, but there's got to be a way you could do this. So thank you very much for everyone watching it. Rotwell says, don't make the trousers. Nessie says, yeah, if the trousers don't work, they don't work. No. Elena says, I'm not sure if I remember correctly, but cigarette style trousers might be something to try. Yes, that's what I'm thinking, is like the 7/8 cropped, tight in at the ankle trousers might be my favorite. So I watched back my trouser and jumpsuit clear out video, and I like my skinny jeans as long as I've got heels on. I don't like the bootcut jeans. I haven't worn them since they have gone back to the shop. But the ones that the silhouette that I liked the most was my beach pajamas, and that was very kind of like fitted over the hips and then naturally draping from the top of the hip. So I was thinking some of the 1940s style trousers I've got might be a good pattern for those. But yeah, these ones, I went according to the measurements that the pattern said, and they're just way too big. And I can see past the calico. It's not just that they're calico and they're not draping. I just wouldn't like them. And they've got pleats at the front over my stomach, and it just made me, no, I just don't think they're for me. Whereas the beach pajama ones, and I appreciate that that's a jumpsuit and so slightly different, but it's got no pleating over the stomach of any kind. It's just completely flat over the stomach, and I actually think that's what I need to go for. So yeah, it's going to be interesting trying on all the trouser styles. I'll see if I can film any of it. It'll probably be on my phone. But yeah. Let's see. Rotten Ralph says, your waist is tiny and it's not easy to fit anyone, especially a tiny waist. Yeah, I think that's my issue, because with the Lucille's, to get the waist to fit the way that I like it, so snug, I could have gone for the same size at the hips, but the pattern said that they were designed with the X amount of ease at the hips, so I went with what the pattern recommended for the ease at the waist and the ease at the hips, so I had to grade out between the sizes. Now I could definitely kind of like flatten that out a bit, because it was a little bit too kind of like that kind of a curve rather than that kind of a curve. But yeah, it's the pleats at the front I just the size that the finished garment size that the pattern says that the waist, if I'd have done it straight size, I think it was a 6, maybe a 4. If I'd have done that straight size, technically it should have fitted over my hips, but with very minimal ease, which is not kind of what they were designed to look like. And I do love, again, this is one of those ones where I hope nobody gets angry with me, because it's not that I don't love the trousers. I think they're amazing. Yeah, size 4 at the waist, 8 at the hips. I think they're absolutely amazing, and I love them on everybody else. But again, I just don't think these ones are for me. There will be a trouser style out there that I like, but I'm not sure what it is. Let's see. Mim says the Sirocco suits you so well. Perhaps start that style trouser. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like the fitted over the hips and then tapering in to a very close fit at the ankles. That's exactly what I like. I think they're called carrot style, carrot leg style. I've got an eyelash that's making me read them. But yeah, I think it'll just be interesting to try a bunch of stuff on at Marks and Spencer's tomorrow and see how that goes. And again, if I can, I will film some of it and try and show you some of the shapes. Mum's agreed to come with me, which is not the most interesting thing for her, but it should hopefully be helpful having her there to be like, oh yeah, that works, well that doesn't, kind of thing. Vox says, yes, I made all the buttons that are in the thumbnail, but the video only show the process for black and white ones for the dress. Nice. I'm so behind. I need to catch up. Nimoy says, trying on a bunch of styles to get an idea of what you like on yourself is a good plan. The dilemma of sewing your own clothes, you have to sew it to try it on, a lot of work and frustration. Michelle says, hello, lovely, listening from work. Hello. Sue says, mine dress ball didn't pan out. Oh no. Oh no. I'm so sad. I'm so sorry. Fox says to Nimoy, yep, that's exactly why I'm afraid to make the Persephone pants. People will love it, but I don't know if I will love that style on me. Would be annoyed to find out after making them. Yeah. Nimoy says, maybe set a number of items you allow yourself to keep, just to have a stroke them like your personal gallery closet. Might make it easier. Yeah, there are some things like my very first Anna dress in the green with the gold 4-leaf clovers on it. I'll never get rid of that. It doesn't fit anymore, but I wore it. It's the first thing that got me back into sewing this time round. And I have got an eyelash that's floating loose. It's really bugging me. I can see it. I don't think I can get close enough to the mirror over there to, let me just sort this out. What are you doing, little eyelash? That's better, I think. Sorry, it was just flickering. I was like, oh, that's annoying. Yeah, that's better. What was I saying? Attention span of a gnat. Yeah, the green and gold 4-leaf clover dress, I will never get rid of that because I absolutely love that dress. I passed my driving test in it. Yeah, it was the thing that got me back into sewing. So that one's always going to stay. And, you know, I have some other pieces that are always going to stay. But for my, like, do I wear this? I'm going. Jojo and I will be strict. Natalie says, hello everyone, it's been ages since I caught a live. I hope everyone is well. Very well, thank you. How are you? Nimoy says to Vox, that's why the only trousers on my to sew list right now are the sew over at Nina, which is the style that I know I like on me. Just have to get the fit right. Scary enough. Yeah, that's the other thing. Rob says the difference between the waist and the hips is extremely challenging. Yes. Elena says, Sirocco jumpsuit pants are your most favourite trouser style. You just need to find the right pleats for non-stretch fabrics. Yes, I really do like my jogging bottoms as well. The McCall's jogging bottoms. I've got 3 pairs of those. I've worn them all to death. They all should have been retired to cleaning rags ages ago because they are so pilled. Yeah, Those ones I love as well. I want to make those again in probably, I think those black ones are actually the only black garment I willingly put on, and they have got rainbow stripes down the side. I made them in Ponte. I want to make them again, but I want to make them in colours that are better for me. The turquoisey teal colour is probably the best one for me. The other one's like a dark green, which is okay, and then the black, which is not something that I love wearing, but I do wear them because they're so comfy and I love that style on me. But again, it's very flat fronted. It does have pockets, and it's kind of very just no details over the waist and the butt and the stomach and the hips, and sort of like a nice gentle flared leg from there. So I like that style as well. Yeah. Jojo says it's funny when you mentioned you'd made the Lucille's and didn't like them. They went next to my queue. Bit worried they'll be the same for me. I'm small waisted hourglass, but too, but short hobbit legs. Yeah. I mean, you're very welcome to try this muslin on for like a look at it if you want. Again, like I say, I love them on everyone that I've seen them on. I do. I think they're really, really nice. Like, I thought they'd be so me, but I put them on and immediately just went, nope. Dad liked them for about a minute, and then he was like, Mum was like, no, as well. So it's quite interesting. And I'm not usually like overly influenced by them. If I have decided I love something, then I love it. And yeah, so like the fact that they were like me, it wasn't like me just going, oh well, then no. But yeah. Gig Racer says, good morning, peeps. Couldn't sleep and now I'm coming down with a lurgy, so I'm not sure how long I'll last this morning. Hope you're all well. Oh, you poor thing. I hope you feel better soon. Luminaria says, hello and happy Monday. Just saw that you were live. This has improved my Monday by a lot. Thank you. Sue says, how many buttons did you end up putting on the 8177? First time I did it, it gapes a bit. Yeah, so I doubled up the buttons. It had 11 and I put 22 on. So they were, I think it's spaced 2 inches apart. You can see where I was planning on not getting up too much today because yes, I have very, very fancy outfit on. I think I've spaced them 2 inches apart. 2.6. Yeah, they're 2 inches apart, which is basically, I just put the top one in that the pattern said I should, and then I marked all the placements, which is 4 inches apart for a dress. That seems so far apart. And the first time I did it, they just gaped as well. And it was like, there's so much room in here. It's not that it's too tight. It's a button-up dress. So yeah, I went for twice the amount of buttons that it says I should. HSO says, I love the sew over Camille trousers, very similar to the Lucille, but a little bit more streamlined hip to waist. I feel like the Lucille's have a lot more volume at the front. Yeah, those pleats at the front I did not like. Melinda says, good morning from Queensland, Australia. I always go to bed before the hangouts on Sunday and watch later, but I'm excited to finally be here live. Hello, good morning. Carol says, on the subject of pants, have you seen the top down centre out method? I have heard about it and I have seen one person do it. Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing with these. I added to the crotch length, and I needed to add at least another ½ inch to the crotch length on that one. But again, it was a muslin, so that was the point of the thing, was to sort of like iron all those out. Yeah, I think I just need to kind of. I think it's going to be one of those things that once I find a trouser style that I like, you guys are going to get sick of seeing it. I also have a feeling that the kind of trouser style that I like is not going to be the kind that's really conducive to comfortably sitting around like my dresses are. That's another reason I don't really overly like the pencil dresses, because they feel more formal to me, and they're not the most comfortable thing to just exist in day to day. And I don't want to wear stuff like this day to day to work in. I could quite easily, but I don't want to. I want to get dressed up, which is why I put dresses on so frequently. I'm actually not enjoying the separates challenge as much as I thought I would. It's kind of proving a little bit more difficult than I thought it would at this time of year. I think it's another thing. It's just like I don't overly enjoy wearing separates. I think I need to, if I make skirts, then I need to make them 2 inches longer than everything else, and then just make dresses that can be shirt dresses that can be worn under things. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I'm not overly enjoying the separates challenge again. So yeah. Caroline says to Nimue, love the Ninas. Oh, let's see. Hopson says, hello from Sweden, following along with your McCall's 8167 tonight, and just made my first ever French seam. Thank you. It wasn't as scary as I've always thought. Oh no, they'll become addictive as well. They are so easy to do and they look so nice. Sue Hall says, I love the sew over at Ultimate Trousers. I have that pattern and I'm thinking I might need to make that pattern. I'm actually thinking I'm being really cheeky and messaging Rachel and seeing if she'll let me try on a pair of hers, because she's very similar size shape to me. She let me do it with one of her Pleiades dresses and I was like, yeah, I like this. So yeah, I'm actually thinking about asking if I can if Rachel wouldn't mind, obviously I'll pay for the postage, but if she wouldn't mind if she sent me a pair down so I can try them on and send them back to her. Ralph says, my husband is 6'2" and I'm 5'4". My legs are the same length as his. Finding a silhouette is challenging. Yes, but they didn't work for you and that's reasonable. I'm sending my sister loads of pattern recommendations. It's entertaining. She's desperate for an Anna pattern now. I love the Anna. Sue says, thank you. Jojo says, is it the Amy Nicole? She has some Sirocco-esque woven trousers. I think the Nita trousers, I own the pattern, but they're drafted for a 5'4" frame. So I'm going to have a lot of tweaking to do for those. But yeah, I'm quite excited about those ones. I am. Like, I really like those Mimi G kind of cargo pant ones as well, but I don't know if they've got pleats at the front. Nimue says to Caroline, I've had a lovely blue plaid fabric from them for my stash for years now. I bought it on the Goldhawk Road when visiting a friend, so no added pressure there. Obviously not for the first try. Ooh. Lala Producer says, congratulations to Hoppily Hopson. Yes. Caroline says to Nimue, my current pair are beige colour, good for work, but I have some black wool for the winter. Ooh, nice. And then it says, but if you'll make trousers on repeat, we will have amazing amount of different fabrics and prints to see. That's what I was saying. I think actually they'll end up being quite a lot of like fancy trousers. I kind of, yeah, and then I don't know if I'd wear, I don't know. I'm sitting here looking at these ties. Should we try and get at least like 1 or 2 of these sewn? They don't take a lot of sewing, so it would be nice to get some of that giant pile done and you know, kind of like whittled away at, because actual sewing 38 minutes in, the wonders never cease. But yeah, I mean, this is the thing, like I do wear these hair scrunchies, so it's not like they're not things that get used. Oh, my bobbin's being stupid. Yeah. Ralph says, do your trouser block, you can find your proper fit? Yes, and actually having looked at it, it's not that difficult a block to draft, according to Susie Farah. I need to put out that waffle, because I was actually talking about possibly redoing my bodice sloper from the Vogue shell pattern that came with that class, that craftsy class. And I know Bianca's done a video about drafting your sloper from that block. that Vogue block, and I'm just wondering if, because I haven't used my block since I've started trying to make my Star Trek dresses, so I'm not 100% happy with the armholes on it. I talk about this in the Patreon Waffle, so I really do need to put that out. But yeah, the armholes just don't look right. And in my head, the next thing to draft was going to be the basic sleeve sloper. But from the class, what I understand is that you draft a brand new sleeve for each pattern that you do. And like after a while, you'll end up with, I guess, a bunch of sleeve patterns that go with everything. But I don't know. It's like, yeah. So I'm thinking about trying the Vogue fitting one, because the Vogue block that they draft from fits me so well, I think, already. And it has kind of it has a bodice that I'm more used to, because that's the other thing. Like the Susie Farah one, like I was amazed by the fit that I got on the moulage from that. But when she started talking about adding in ease to make it to my actual sloper, I ended up with it being quite a lot bigger than I liked. Which again, I can go back and edit, and I will do. But I think maybe the other thing was as well that there was no mention of backing off darts, and all of the like dart manipulation that they do, the darts go right to the apex, like on all of the styles that they do. And when you make them into a princess, that's fine. But when you actually have darts that go all the way to the apex, it kind of looked a bit odd to me. And again, again, it's probably what I'm used to and that kind of thing. But I think maybe trying the Vogue sloper or Vogue block pattern might be a good plan. So yeah. Let's see, where did I get to read the chat? And then it says fancy is interesting. Yes, for trousers. Nessie says, yeah, the block will help. Yes. Rotten Ralph says fancy trousers and magical cardigans, definitely a plan. Yeah, I mean, as long as I can get them to be comfortable, that could be quite a fun look. The other thing that I've noticed as well is I want to be able to wear ballet flats. I want to be able to put my ballet flats on and come down here. And with some of the things that I want to wear, they feel too smart to then have ballet flats put on them. And I have a load of heels, and there's a bunch of heels that I would put on with my outfits if I wasn't coming down here to sew, but I cannot sew in high heels at all. I've tried. Believe me, I've tried. And I don't go out that often, so it's kind of, that's another reason I choose the floaty big dresses that I do, because I feel it goes really well with the footwear type that I gravitate towards for on the day-to-day basis. So I don't know. I'm so trousers, the 7/8 fitted to the bottom cigarette style pants, very Audrey Hepburn. She wore them with ballet flats and that looked great, and I can imagine doing that. But other trousers that I have, like my skinny jeans, I much prefer how I look in those, either with my thigh-high boots over the top or high-heeled boots on. And I obviously don't want to wear those kind of things for every day, because, so I don't know, it's an outfit in my head. It's like I've bought all this suiting, and I'm going to make this up into suits. I'm going to turn these into suits because I love the idea of it, but I don't think it's going to get worn that often because of the type of lifestyle that I live. The floaty fancy over the top dresses for me feel more casual than like a suit would. I don't know, maybe I ought to wear them for like filming days and things like that. So yeah. Elena says, plus you can always get into cosplay. Yes, definitely. Lollapalooza says cargo pants add extra width to the hip area. I find I thought I loved them, but alas, they just didn't work for me. Yeah, the ones that Mimi G does have the pockets on the side, which I would totally not put on. But I just liked they're 7/8 cropped. She's wearing them with really high heels. I thought they were really nice. I do kind of think they might work for me, but I think they might also have front pleats on them, and I don't think they're the ones for me. I think I need darts for shaping, flat darts at the front. Rotten Ralph says, which class did you have? My craftsy class has had me drafting from scratch. I have a Vogue block pattern. It's the Susie Ferrer sloper classes. So yeah. Luminaria says, sleeves make your pattern into a puzzle piece you just need to use for different looks. Yeah, that's what I was thinking eventually, but I don't know. I kind of like the idea of having a basic sleeve block that I can draft from, because I know that basic sleeve block fits into the basic block that I've got. And at the moment, the armholes on my bodice block, I am not comfortable drafting a sleeve for them because they just don't look right. And that's why I'm thinking if I go to the Vogue one, it's kind of got the shape of the armhole should be in there anyway. And I might end up with the armhole looking like my block does when I drafted that from scratch. So, you know, like it might be that's what my armhole needs to look like, because I do get loads of comments from people saying, oh, can see your bra. So yeah. Yeah. Finnegan says, oh, this is a fun surprise. Hi everyone. Hi Sean. Hello. Nessie says, yeah, darts look all the way gives pointy boob effect. Yes. Gatsby Girl says, I like the Simplicity 8447 1940 style trousers. Front darts flatter my mummy tummy and have looser fit in the backside, which I prefer. The only thing I want to change is the large cuff. Ah, interesting. Do I have that pattern? Probably I do. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a quick look, because I have got a bunch of trouser patterns, as we know. Oh, those were nice. They're the ones I'm talking about. Right. So I have made these ones. I've done a sew along for these Vogue ones, and I actually really like these. They have like a V-shaped yoke at the front for shaping. I actually did really like those. I need to dig that pattern out and try that again. Yeah, they've got front pleats. These are the Mimi G ones that I was talking about. And I don't think that those are going to be good for me. And then these were the Simplicity ones that I was thinking of. Although they have pleats as well, not darts at the front, and they're a little bit skinnier leg than perhaps I would like. So maybe I don't have. I thought I had another vintage pattern. It might be in a different category. I've got such floofy hair today. But yeah, like I say, Mum and I are going into town tomorrow to try on a bunch of different stuff. So we'll see how that goes. Right, Ralph says, Elena, it's backwards. Most people start in cosplay, then sewing a civilian afterwards. Mim says, I made my bodice block from McCall 7861 and use it for all my dress designs. Ooh, nice. Laurel says, oh, hi. Oh, hi, all. Forgot to set a notification. I should be working, but just took a bit of a break. Hello. Eleanor says to Rotten Ralph, but we are talking about trousers. The amount of extra BAMF women characters in fancy trousers will definitely appeal to try. Yeah. Laurel says, read the Vogue sloper. I tried to do all the math adjustments in the instructions, but the resulting changes to the paper pattern made me suspicious. Instead, I made a muslin per the original pattern and hacked away at it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing as well, because like I say, for me, the Vogue block fits me pretty well anyway, with just adding the inch of length to the torso. So I'm going to give that a try, I think. Luminaria says, I think you need a bootlet or shorty to go with your jeans. They feel more casual but more dressy at the same time. A bootlet or a shooty. Oh, I do have a couple of pairs of like kind of like ankle boots and things like that. I've got a couple of John Madden ones, Steve Madden ones, I keep calling them John Madden, and some really cute irregular choice ones. Yeah. Yeah. Rock Ralph says, Eleanor, I'm definitely here for fancy trousers. You should make a sleeve block. Numenaria says, you did the class on Craftsy, didn't you? I did, yes. Eleanor says, to Rock Ralph, me too. Catherine says, evening all. Hello. Hayley says, seconding the 8447 trousers, the darts in the front keep it very smooth. Let me have a Google of that pattern. Is that the... what is that one? Because it might be one. I recognise the number. So what am I looking for? Simplicity 8447 trouser pattern. Oh, is that the is that this one? I do have that one, I think. Yeah, they could be quite good. Yeah. I've got a couple of pairs of like overall and denim patterns from Closet Core as well, which I think probably will work for me. I need to give them a try. Like I have fully intended, I've got trouser month on my like my list of projects that scare me. And I was going to try and do them next month. So because I do have a bunch of fabric back there for trouser making. Oh yeah. Kelly says, I have a question about YouTube. I have ADHD and watch everything on at least 1.5 speed. Does that affect your watching time, etc.? Yes, it does, but it's totally fine. Especially if you watch all of the video. Like, it's retention that the algorithm really likes. It's like keeping people engaged for a long period of time. Because basically the algorithm is trying to set things up so that you, the consumer, stay on the app as long as possible, so that the app or the platform can serve you as many adverts as possible, which is how the advertisers are made happy. So what YouTube really likes is interaction and retention on videos. So the longer that you watch for, and if you engage in it, then they're like, ooh, this is grabbing their attention. This is grabbing, like, I'll show them more of this type of video. What they don't like is when you start watching video and go, oh, maybe this is not for me, and you click off within the first 30 seconds. Now that is totally fine, because if you don't like the video, don't make yourself watch something you don't like. And most of the time, if it's a creator that you like, you're going to want to watch their video anyway. But yeah, it's the interaction and the retention on the video. So watch time does get affected if you watch it faster or slower, but not massively. So wouldn't worry about that. At least that's my understanding. Nessie says, I got some of the high-waisted trousers from Emmy, and to help keep the waistband from folding, I added some zip ties as boning. Works great. I love those trousers. I do love those trousers. And I really want to try a pair of those on. I did have a look at their sizing of the Emmy Designs trousers, sort of to see if I could get away with wearing them, and I'd need to do quite a lot of altering to get them to fit my hips and my waist. So it'd probably end up being a case of it's not worth spending the amount of money on them. That, I mean, they're totally worth the money, but for the amount of altering that I would need to do to get them to fit me the way that I would want them to, I would probably just be better just investing in the time and making my own from patterns that I've already got. Okay, I've sewn 2 bows, 4 more to go. We'll get there. We'll get there. But I do love those trousers. I think they're gorgeous. And it always says, don't forget to like the stream, peeps. Yes, please. 102 of us and 61 likes. This is the apple and pear squash from Robinson's, and it tastes like pear drops. It's amazing, and it's very low sugar. It's making me very happy. Rotten Ralph says to Kelly, that's a good question. Catherine says, I'm happy with the closet core ginger jeans, although I have modded them to be boot cut, but as someone with a waist and a bum. Yeah, I kind of think that I need to give those a try, because even the highest waist hygiene and highest waisted high waist jeans that I can get, they're still usually an inch shorter than I would like them to be. So yeah. Ralph says, I have that pattern, and the vintage trace from Depew on Etsy Vintage has better lines. Ooh, interesting. Lollapalooza says, do the same things apply for the live streams on YouTube? I don't know about the live streams on YouTube. I genuinely don't know. I think it's one of those things that, like, I do them. I probably shouldn't leave them up, but I love leaving them up because I know sometimes people will go back and just stick them on. I put them in a playlist and they'll just stick them on and listen to it burble away in the background. So I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. Nessie says, highly recommend the Emmy trousers. I do wear at least 2-inch heels, but they are great and they're good quality that I would take them to be altered. I really want to try them on. I really want to try them on because I need one size. There's about 3 size difference between what I need for my waist and what I need for my butt. And that's a lot of alterations. And we all know how I feel about those. And I wouldn't mind paying someone to do it. But I love Emmy Design of Sweden. I think it's an amazing company. I love the style that they have. If I had the money, I would buy one of everything in every color because it's gorgeous. I love it. So yeah, I do really love those trousers, and I think they are absolutely gorgeous. But they're not expensive. They're very well priced for what they are. But I want to try them on first. I know there's a stockist in London. The next time I'm up in London, I'll try and go and try some stuff on. So yeah. Missy says, I hate doing alterations. I also hate doing alterations, so I'll pay for someone else to do it. Yeah. And then it says, algorithm is at the moment loving hating me. I'm watching all of the Perry Mason movies in order at the moment, but also watching you and the Law Tube. Sometimes also some shorts. So my homepage looks extra confusing. I can imagine. Laura says, I think I've mentioned Jay Stern's designs before, but if not, she has really informative trouser fitting videos. Ooh, thank you. Nessie says, has the May 2002 hangout in another tab. Awesome. Caroline says, I used to the live streams to entertain Kierden. Oh, cool. Rotten Ralph says, just open my mail. My Reconstructing History 848 has just arrived, so very excited. Nice. Laurel says, the lives do help me keep me on task as I sew. I've even pulled up past Vlogmases recently. Oh, I love Vlogmases too. My brother watches the Vlogmases when he's over in Kuala Lumpur. I think he watches them quite frequently because obviously he's away from the family for long stretches of time, and there's more of a family featured in those ones than any of the other videos now, which is a conscious decision that I made when we moved in here. Like, mum and dad were very kind in letting me film as much of them as they did, but you know, I think they're happier just kind of like being on camera every now and again as they are now, rather than all the time like they used to be. I mean, it wasn't all the time, but they featured a lot more previously. So I think they're happier now. Honestly. Right, Ralph says, Elena, I've been watching true crime, music analysis, and creative streaming. Ooh, interesting. So before I came down today, Prickly Alpaca put up her latest video, which was character design for villainous moths, and I loved those. I actually googled, or well, searched on YouTube to see if she'd done a blue morpho butterfly character, because I was thinking, because I really do want to do my butterfly dress this year. But that is dependent on my corset, which I am planning to get to after my dirndl. And I have the 8177 white dress to go under the dirndl, and then I'm going to start working on the dirndl. And Nimaway, bless you. Thank you so much for looking up the history of the dirndl for me. Yeah, it's kind of quite interesting how it all came about. And I feel quite comfortable having a play around with it. It's not, I don't think, cultural appropriation, and that's something that I obviously want to completely avoid. But yeah, I think I'm actually going to end up making the peplum on it a high-low peplum, and possibly like lining the peplum with one of these silks if I don't have enough of the silk brocade. So yeah, I'm planning on having some fun with that one. Gig Racer says, my algorithm is also very confusing. Lots of LawTube, sewing channels, beauty, Golden Eagle log homes, I love them, dog grooming, result of rabbit hole, and cars. Ralph says, my dashboard is not confused, it's eclectic. Nice. Anna's here. Hiya all, how are you? Very well, thank you, Anna. How are you? I have one of the fabrics that you gave me for my birthday Christmas as the kind of brown one up on a pole for the next sew along, and it's winning. So now I need to try and decide if I want to do complementary or contrasting piping for it. Catherine says, for Legal Tube fans, have you found Leah Miller? Git Racer says, oh, and charismatic voice. I think only one of her videos. Interesting. Right, says to Gig Racer, love her Rage Against the Machine analysis. There's going to be another rabbit hole that I fall down. And then it says to Rotten Ralph, also my algorithm likes when my kids steals my phone for the blast to blast TS for hours. And Rotten Ralph says to Catherine, I have found her. Right. Let's get these sewn. Let's at least do that today, shall we? Then I've got my red scrunchies done. Ugh. So annoying that this bobbin is doing stupid things. Nimue says, I was curious about what's considered required style elements for a dirndl myself. It isn't like it's my natural environment, not enough mountains here. Yeah, I just thought it was a really interesting thing. And I do think that for me, it will be way more versatile as a standalone piece rather than a full-on dress. Because as a full-on dress, it would just be worn like maybe once or twice. But as a standalone piece, I think I can maybe get some more wear out of it. I've managed to track down the window screen mesh that Christine McConnell uses in her Christmas witch hat, because I am thinking about doing a following Christine McConnell's witch's hat tutorial for next month, and then wearing it with the dirndl corset type thing, skinny jeans, my brown over the knee boot or knee high boots, and the hat, and having that as my Halloween costume. And I'm thinking maybe using the cream bishop pirate sleeve shirt that I've already made, or perhaps using some textured viscose that I've got back here that I got in Ibiza, and doing one of the kind of like it's with the McCall's Once Upon a Time costumes, the Snow White one. There's a bishopy sleeved blouse in that, but it's like a sort of a kind of low cut round necked band that the shirt gets gathered into. So I think that might be quite a good one. Not that I have a Halloween party to go to this year, but I think that that could be quite a cool ensemble. And I'm thinking about trying to make the witch's hat maybe slightly piratey, which I think would be achieved with the brim, and maybe doing like the cutout of the brim and having one side of the brim kind of like attached, you know, like sort of like trying to take some piratey-esque elements from pirate hats in, but still doing the kind of like the long pointy witch's hat. And I really liked Christine's method of doing it, because that wire mesh window screening was really moldable, and the stuff that I found here for the amount that I'd need is £7, and then the rest is hot glue. So, and I have hot glue. I have a lot of hot glue and a hot glue gun. So it would just then be the fabric that I need to cover it with. So I know I've got some brown micro suede. I don't know if I've got a lot of it, but I think that would be the perfect thing. So I've been having a look to see if I can find some more of that online that's not too expensive. Yeah, I think that could be an interesting project, and it could be quite a clickbaity title as well, because obviously Christine McConnell is quite a well-known YouTuber, and I think doing putting I tried a Christine McConnell tutorial in the title, I might get some crossover from her subscribers. I don't know. I always love watching her videos. Like, she designs wallpaper and she paints walls, and I watch them because she doesn't do it in a basic way. But yeah, I love watching her, and I'm a patron of hers as well. Let's see. Oh, where did I get to with the chat? Anna says, that would be very fun to see. Speaking of sewing, I need to pull my needle out, as I'm doing, if I am making a dress for Dressmaker's Ball on Saturday. Oh, I'm excited to see what you're making as well. You had something on Instagram, bias binding, that wasn't necessarily going to be used in the traditional way, and I'm interested to see how what you're planning with that. Laurel says, alas, work calls, enjoy the rest of your day. You too, Laurel, thank you for joining us. Rotten Ralph says, Christine McConnell makes me feel like a liar when I call myself an artist. She just like goals to me. I know, right? What makes me giggle is she's just like, so I've never done this before, so I thought I'd just give it a quick try, and then this perfect thing emerges and you're just like, yeah, I have no illusions that my hat's going to come out anywhere near as good as hers, but I just thought it'd be quite a fun project to try. Seasonally appropriate, and would go quite well with this like outfit that I'm planning around my dandle. I want to try and get some feathers as well. There's some blue jay feathers and pheasant feathers for like a you know, the feather accent for the side of the hat. And there's a couple of UK sellers on Etsy that do fallen feathers, so they are not like, you know, the bird's not damaged getting the feathers, because I would hate that. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully it's a good idea and it works. We shall see. Let's see. Lisa says, hi Sean, sending love from Devon. Thank you, Lisa. Gig Racer says, I have a dirndl which my mum bought in Germany in the 70s. Far too small for me now, but I used to wear it as a teenager for dress up day. Mum's family was from northern Germany. She's first gen Aussie. Ralph says, you're going to make hats. I'm going to try and make a hat. I've made another witch's hat. That was a tutorial I did many moons ago for Halloween. And I really liked that little witch's hat and how it came out. It was a teeny like little witch's fascinator. I really liked how that came out. Yeah, I'm gonna 6 years later, I'm gonna try and make another hat. She makes it look easy, right? Like, I'm gonna give it a try. She's like, I've never really tried millinery before, so that's why I don't have any of the proper stuff. So let's just do this and see how it comes out. And she comes out perfect. So I want to give it a try. Elena says, who needs a party to dress up on Halloween? Spooky season has already begun. I mean, quite. The shops also have Christmas stuff in, which is just ridiculous, but they don't have Christmas biscuits, which I suppose is really good for my waistline. But if you're going to bring Christmas stuff in now, you should have Christmas biscuits. You can't have Christmas stuff without Christmas biscuits. Like, it just doesn't compute in my brain. So, yeah, not happy. Nimue says, hat making adventure sounds like fun. Rotten Ralph says, hot glue and some sort of mulling. Mulling? Ooh, what is mulling? Is that it? It rings a bell. Mulling. That sounds like something I should know. Excuse me. Good Graces says, I don't think I've ever heard of Christine McConnell. She's one of those beautiful people that just is beautiful and has like a really wicked sense of humor. She did on Patreon. She did so she moved from California to upstate New York. She bought a upstate like Victorian Queen Anne era mansion, sight unseen, completely furnished. Drove across the country to come and see it for the first time, and it's been like restoring it ever since. And she did a video of laying the dining room table. And it's all pink and green and gothic and ornate and over the top, and it looks amazing. But one of the things that she said, she was like, oh, when you have a really successful dinner party, if everyone's had a few glasses of wine or a few glasses of the alcohol, you're said to see pink elephants, like in the Dumbo cartoon when he gets drunk. And so she's gone and found pink elephant salt and pepper shakers, and so she has a different pair of them for each place setting, so that you can always see your own pink elephants. I highly she's got she had a Netflix show. She's got lots on YouTube, not lots on YouTube, but there's a decent amount on YouTube. I highly recommend signing up for her Patreon. You can do it for $1. I think it might be $2, but it's a minimal amount, and you get all of her back catalogue. So I highly recommend. I think she's amazing. She made her own dress form out of like Amazon cardboard packaging, and it's a work of art. She's like, oh yeah, so I wanted a 10-foot bed frame for this room that I'm redecorating. Couldn't find one, so I bought 2 reproduction ones and taken them apart, stripped all the varnish off, turned it into like, and it's just amazing, like, honestly. So highly recommend. But yeah, she did a tutorial of how to make your own witch's Christmas hat, and so I want to make one for Halloween. Let's see. Where did I get to? Luminary says, so a tricorn witch's hat. I think that was the actual style at one point around the time of the American Pilgrim time frame. Something like that, yes. Nimue says, 2 friends are making P4P gone batty tops for Halloween. I want to make mine infinitely more complicated because, of course, Ralph says, I have a specific hat I desire. Sian, do you also watch the Owl and the Squirrel paper? I thought it was Owl and Rats. I thought they were little rats, and yes, I did, and I've entered into the competition because I want that on my walls. Anna says, nothing grand, read the bias tape, but it will hopefully be used for an idea I have for it. Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing it, Anna. Ralph says, I want to put up her wallpaper in my craft room and pretend I live in an aesthetic house. I want to make a hat that Sarah Spaceman will recognise as her pattern. Ah, yes. I love her videos as well. Anna says, if you're ever after natural peacock feathers, I know a lady. She has a pet bird and they're cared for beautifully. She has both blue and white peacocks. Oh, wow. Is that where you got yours from for your last dressmaker's ball? I have some peacock feathers. I do at some point want to make a peacock costume. I have ideas for making the tail go up and down. Nothing like being overly ambitious. So, yeah. Gig Racer says, I've only ever made a plaited and sewn raffia hat and a fascinator many years ago. Would love to watch you make hats. Michelle says, agreed on the biscuits, 100%. Yeah, if you're going to put Christmas stuff out, it's got to have Christmas biscuits. Rotten Ralph says, mulling is the fabric or padding that you have in your hat to hide the wire. Ah, awesome. She didn't use that. Maybe I will put some batting on mine. Maybe. Elena says, already Christmas stuff. I was hoping it will appear only 1, max 2 weeks before Halloween. I know, right? Already. Gig Racer says, she sounds right up my alley. You should definitely sign up. Nimoy says, my mum actually bought Christmas biscuits already and is eating them. My golden rule is no Christmas sweets before my birthday, end of November. I'll just spoil the season for me otherwise. Yeah, we have to wait for Christmas till after the 9th of December because of Dad's birthday. Catherine says, Sainsbury's had mince pies today. I didn't buy them. Linda says, hi Peeps, what have I missed? We've just been waffling. Jojo says, those pink elephants still freak me out and they terrified me as a child. Yeah, they were creepy. They were creepy. Fox says to Elena, I have been seeing advent calendars since August. Rotten Ralph says, rat and owl. Yeah, it was little cute little rats and owls. My best friend would love that paper. But yeah, she's doing a competition where you can win a room's worth for 5 people. 5 people are going to win a room's worth. So Catherine says, flapping peacock tail sounds like a Rachel Maxey special. Yes. Well, you know, there's I've just seen like the kind of like so on the obviously on a smaller scale, but on the Taylor Swift Eras tour, those guys with the like sort of like tails on with the really light fabric attached to it that they're like wafting all over the place when she comes in. So I'm thinking some contraption like that you can bring up and leave down, maybe, but on a much smaller scale because I don't want it dragging on the floor, and it would be heavy. Like the bigger it gets, the heavier it's going to get, so it would make it harder to bring up and down. Alana says to Vox, oh my, that's horrifying. And Linda says, just got back from holiday and Mittens missed me. Oh, cute. Lisa says to Catherine, I love Rachel Maxine too. Glenda says, good evening, Peeps, late to the party. Hello, welcome. And Rotten Ralph says, oh, I have entered the competition. Good. Good luck. Hopefully you and I win a set each. That would be amazing. Wah! Frying pins on the floor. That's no good. Can't do that. Cannot do that. Okay, nearly done. Thank you guys for keeping me company whilst I do this, because I can just see myself leaving them sitting there for months again afterwards if I don't get them done. And it would be nice to have them in rotation, because I've kind of like, I'm going to get my hair cut next month, and he's just going to even it out and make it a little bit less blocky, because it is the layers that I've got in it at the moment are really kind of like harsh. I've got 3 layers and it looks like it, and apparently one side's not the same length as the other side. But I've kind of decided that I'm happiest when I'm wearing my hair up. I prefer it up, so I want to keep it in as good condition as I can and grow it as long as I can, so that I have the most options for putting it up, because I'm never going to have long thick hair ever. I just don't have that kind of hair. It's never going to happen. But with hair pieces and things, which I did used to wear quite a lot, I would like to be able to wear those again, because I enjoyed, you know, like just being able to throw my hair up of the day and feel put together and done. So yeah. Let's see. Elena says, yes, I did. Crikey, Christmas gets earlier and earlier. I'm getting on with creating some sewing-themed advents ready for a couple of customers already. I saw that you were doing an advent calendar. That's really cool. Rotten Rouse says, one for you, one for me. Yes. Elena says, and now Taylor moved in my inner jukebox rent-free once again. Oh, sorry. Which earworm have you got now? I've been singing You Better Calm Down quite a lot. You're being too loud. Vox says, on the topic of advent calendars, is there any good sewing advent calendars you peeps recommend? So Anna's doing one, Pattern Pouch Nest. I know Andrea's sold out. I haven't seen if the Pit Trading advent calendar is on again this year, the lingerie one. I know there were very mixed reviews on the Fabric Godmother one, so I'm not sure if she's doing one this year. So I don't overly know other than that. Ralph says, Elena, I have Incubus living rent-free in my head. Nimue says, shall we demand no less than 3 scrunchies before we let you go on Wednesday? Yes, please. Yes, please. Although the trouble with that is that now that I've signed up for the Zoom, like for as long as we want, we'll end up sitting there chatting for ages again. Not that that's a bad thing. Yeah. And Anna says to Vox, if I can say, I create advent calendars. Catherine says, successful zip, always good when that happens. Nice. Elena says to Rotten Ralph, I need to check that one. Nimue says, I'm with you on the hair up. I hate my hair and my neck. But it's unmanageable when short, so long, and in a bun it is. Yeah, I think for me, again, it's just one of those things. I think I feel happiest with my hair up. Like, I think my face looks a nicer shape as well. When my hair's down, I've found that I kind of like really end up concentrating on these bits. And I hate it. But when it's up, I feel much, much more kind of like better. So, isn't it weird, the things that you kind of like notice about yourself and get obsessed about yourself with? Let's see. Rotten Ralph says, no blending with your layers. The better base you have to build on, you can do fun things with your hairpiece. Yeah, I need to. Basically, the haircut that I got earlier this year was a little bit of a disaster, and it's not even, and it's really blocky and bad. And I went to see my mum's hairdresser, who specialises in cutting for the face shape that you have and the hair type that you have. And he suggested a few tweaks to make it just a little bit better for me whilst I'm growing it out. And yeah, then I'm going to just get it to the point where I can get it all up without little bits like this coming out of the back. So, yeah. Catherine says, regular zip, not invisible. Back to my method my mum taught me almost 40 years ago. Nice. Rotten Ralph says, Incubus, wish you were here, Elena. The charismatic voice reaction is delightful. Nimue says, I wanted to make myself a patchwork ornament advent calendar, but I don't think it'll happen until next year. Kind of inspired by ornaments Erica Aunt has been doing. Ooh, interesting. Carol says, how to renovate a chateau without killing your husband. Also paints wallpaper. She used to design at Balmain. Yes, I love those too. They had Wild Boar recently, didn't they? And they're just about to start doing their master suite bathroom. Vox says to Anna, you mean you sell advent calendars? I was understanding that you make your own. I should check them out. She does indeed. Pattern Pouch Nest. Elena says, old version of Better Than Revenge, Wildest Dreams, and Blank Space are most repeated. Yeah, I really like Blank Space as well. Darshana says, hi all. Hello. Anna says to Vox, I make and sell them. Nimue says, I no longer have the morning shift on Thursday, so no reason to head to bed. Well, this could get dangerous, Nimue. Ralph says to Nimue, my hair lives up in a braid or a bun. Dasha says it's like the 40s look with the dresses. They always had really designed hair. Yeah, see, my thing with my hair is I want it to be easy. I don't want to have to do a lot of stuff to it. I tried I think I was saying it earlier in the stream, but I washed it today, and I tried putting in products to it when it was sopping wet. Like I hadn't even touched it with a towel, a microfiber towel. Before I started putting products in it, I got them out specifically so I could do it whilst I was still in the shower. And I put in the curl cream, the leave-in conditioner, curl cream, and mousse, and then scrunched it, put it in a microfiber towel, and let it kind of sit in that for a while, and then diffused it. And it ended up, I have waves, I don't have curls. And I have really kind of like unattractive waves, and my hair being this short and cut in the style that it was, it did not look good, which is why I brushed it out, and it's now floofy and up in like a little tiny thing at the back. So I want my hair to be as easy as possible, and I want to put as little heat on it as possible. As in, I don't want to straighten it every day. And so I want to be able to put it up. And I think I'm just going to invest in a couple of hair pieces. I bought like a double plait when I had red hair, which I wore a couple of times and everyone went nuts for. I had it in a bun with the double plait over the top. So I think I want to do a couple of those sorts of things. I've already got like the really big curly hair piece that I really like. I've tried it on the other day and I haven't got enough hair to put it on at the moment. I think I just need to kind of like tidy up what I've got at the moment, because it is just not quite right, and then just grow it out and just kind of work out a couple of updos that take me 5 minutes in the morning, and then I can put them up and have done, because I really do prefer my hair up. I think my face looks a lot better with my hair up. So yeah. Let's see. Where did I get to with my chat? Elena says to Rotten Ralph, I like that channel for her facial expressions are priceless. And Michelle says, got to face rush hour traffic. Ugh, see you next time. Good luck with your day, Michelle. Thank you for joining us. Dashna says, which leave-in conditioner do you use? Mine's Wavy 2. The Aussie one, I've always used their products. I really like their products. And Lisa says, Sean, how is Buttons? Will he be appearing on another live soon? Possibly. He is at his brother's stag do next weekend, and then he's here the weekend after when Jojo's here as well. So we might have a bit of a party that hangout if Jojo and Buttons don't mind. That could be quite interesting, I think. But yeah. Turning these all through is always fun. It's my purple pointy thing. I saw a video the other day that was just like, I'm not buying any tools that have one purpose and one purpose only, talking about this. This has so many purposes. Like you can there's that little gap there. You put your elastic through that and use it as a bodkin and thread your elastic through things. Obviously, you can use it to turn things through. This is 1/4 of an inch at the end here, so you can use it in quilting for spacing things, obviously as like a stylus to help you get things under the needle. I find this thing really useful. I use it pretty much every project that I make for one way or another. Like I completely agree, there are some sewing tools that are total just gimmicky gadgets that you really don't need to buy. But this for me is one of my absolute favorites. Darshan says, I use Regis Desaline olive oil leave-in conditioner, or cut. Oh, it's so cute, the smile you get when you mention Buttons. So cute. Oh, thank you. And then it says, party live on clearing your closet with Jojo and Buttons. Oh God, no. Not having both of them help me do that. That would be a nightmare. We'd get nothing done. I've got to edit these videos as well afterwards. It would be hours of like just messing around in there. Catherine says, thinking about hard-working patterns, just making my 5th Barclay skirt a knee-length one. We'll also have a long one cut out with lining. Nice. Nice. Jojo says, only if buttons line I can sit off to the side and heckle like Waldorf and Stadler. Oh, yeah. Okay. Done. Right, I've got them all sewn, so now I need to press them, top stitch them, and attach them to my scrunchies. So I'm not going to make you sit around and wait for me whilst I do the ironing. Also, I'm wearing jogging bottom, like my pajama bottom, so yeah. But thank you very much for hanging out with me on a Monday evening. It was very much fun, and we can definitely do this again in the future if you guys would like. So I've got my rouleau loop video coming out tomorrow. A couple of people have asked for that. It feels a bit, it's like one of those ones where it's like, does anyone need a tutorial for this? And then it's just like loads of people, not loads, a couple of people have asked for it. So it's like, let's do it. And this is my method and how I do it. So yeah, and then I'm hoping Friday's video will be the white dress to go under the dirndl. And then I can start working on the dirndl, which I'm excited about. So yay. And yes, I have the Zoom call on Wednesday with the $10 and $15 tier peeps. There will be some Patreon waffles coming out this week as well. Hopefully there will be some shorts for outfits of the day, although I did not do one for this outfit because no. So yeah, I've got lots of stuff planned for this week. I hope you can join me for some or all of it. And obviously there will be a hangout next Sunday as well. So I shall see you all then. Thank you for joining me. Bye.